good evening, viewers. You're watching the latest edition of 6 Stories at 6. I am Rakshita Mishra with you. Viewers, we start with the top story on the schedule today's Trump tariff war. Viewers, India is all set. The tariffs have kicked in. We'll give you a breakdown on the impact and how India is ready for that. Also, story number 2 is the deadly floods in Jammu. Viewers, several pilgrims over on the Vaishno Devi Yatra route have lost their lives. The rescue operations have been expedited. And story number 3 is coming in from Gujarat's Vadodara, where eggs were hurled at the Ganpati idol. An attempt to create communal disharmony being reported there. The next story will be the multi-crore Aam Aadmi Party hospital scam in the national capital. The political face-off is also now escalating. And story number 4 is the story from Srinagar, where Amit Shah, the Home Minister, honoured the heroes of Operation Mahadev, those who avenged the Pahalgam attack. And also another case of hit and run is coming in from the national capital. We'll tell you about that as well. But let's start with the Trump tariff war, viewers. Donald Trump's 50% tariffs have kicked in, the 25% penalty for Russian oil that are now being levied. And we are now going to show you a report to get you a breakdown of what really to expect, viewers, because India clearly is saying that bring it on Trump. That is the message being sent out right from the top leadership of the country to the others, viewers. India is a growing, formidable economy, and India will not compromise on national interest, come what may.
US President Donald Trump's new tariff rate of 50% has kicked in. A 25% tariff was already in place. Another 25% has been slapped starting today. All because India continued to buy Russian oil. But India isn't backing down. Hours before the new tariffs, Prime Minister Modi sent a stern warning to Washington, D.C. He said that India will not compromise on farmers' interests or the livelihood of small traders. The pressure may mount, but India will not budge.
भारत अपने किसानों के, पशुपालकों के और मछुआरे भाई बहनों के हितों के साथ कभी भी समझौता नहीं करेगा। और मैं जानता हूं व्यक्तिगत रूप से मुझे बहुत बड़ी कीमत चुकानी पड़ेगी, लेकिन मैं इसके लिए तैयार हूं। मेरी सरकार लघु उद्यमियों का, किसानों का, पशुपालकों का कभी भी अहित नहीं होने देंगे। दबाव कितना ही क्यों ना आए, हम झेलने की अपनी ताकत बढ़ाते जाएंगे।
With Trump's tariffs kicking in, Indian exports to the United States would likely be affected. The products most at risk owing to Trump's tariffs are textiles, gems and jewelry, shrimp, carpets and furniture. Exporters are bracing themselves for the impact of Trump's tariff. Traders from Surat to Jaipur are already sounding the alarm.
This 50% tariff applies on about 2/3 of Indian exports. About 30% of the Indian exports are exempted. There will be no tariffs on them. These are petroleum products and smartphones, pharmaceutical products, APIs, etc. So there is no tariff on them. On about 4% of the products, which includes mostly half of our auto component exports to US, they will attract not 50% but 25% tariff.
अमेरिका में अभी हमारे प्रोडक्ट पे टैरिफ 0 से 12% के बीच में अलग अलग कैटेगरी के हिसाब से था। अब हम ये मानते हैं कि वो 50 से 62% हो जाएगा। तो ये होने से हमारे बायर्स ने लगभग सबने हाथ खड़े कर दिए, ईमेल्स भेज दिए, रनिंग ऑर्डर्स भी रोक दिए हैं और आगे भी ऑर्डर नए देने को तैयार नहीं है।
अब टैरिफ जो है ऑन द टॉप ऑफ कस्टम ड्यूटी है, तो टैरिफ अभी जो हमें लग रहा है वो लगभग 66% से लेके 72% तक लग रहा है अलग अलग कैटेगरीज पे। तो बहुत बड़ा फ़र्क है, डेढ़ा फ़र्क है।
फ़र्क पड़ेगा, लेकिन अभी ये टेम्परेरी ही रहेगा सर, क्योंकि नरेंद्र मोदी जी व्यापारियों के साथ हैं और ये जो टैरिफ की बातें हो रही हैं ये ज़्यादा दिन नहीं चलेगी। बाकी ज्वेलरी लाइन में तो डिमांड जैसे बढ़ती जाएगी वैसे ही सप्लाई भी होती रहेगी।
फ़र्क तो देखो कुछ नहीं है, यही है कि एशिया का बहुत बड़ा ये बाज़ार है, यहाँ फ़र्क पड़ेगा तब पड़ेगा। लेकिन अभी ये जो ये मोदी की इन लोगों की नीतियाँ, इनके ट्रम्प के आए देखो मोदी झुकने वाला है नहीं, ठीक है। बाज़ार बहुत बड़ा है, थोड़ा बहुत फ़र्क पड़ेगा।
अगर हमने कोरोना काल काट दिया उससे ज़्यादा दिक्कत क्या आ सकती है, उसमें हम लोग नहीं पीछे हटे, उसमें भी हम लोग बिल्कुल कंफर्टेबल थे। और अगर अमेरिका से टैरिफ लगा भी दिया तो हमें कोई फर्क पड़ने वाला नहीं है, 19-20 का कवर हम कर लेंगे।
And meanwhile, there is anger on the streets as protests erupted in Uttar Pradesh's Kanpur.
डोनाल्ड ट्रंप राष्ट्रपति बने हैं दोबारा, तब से टैरिफ ही खेल रहे हो, हर जगह टैरिफ लगा रहे हैं, किसी को नहीं छोड़ा। और भारत के साथ लगता है उनकी कुछ व्यक्तिगत कुछ, जब अपने दोस्त को नहीं संभाल पाए, आपने देखा होगा, तो फिर वो किसको क्या करेंगे।
सत्य है कि ये भारत के लिए अवसर हो जाएगा। जब भी कभी किसी के आगे कोई दिक्कत आती है और जब उसको वो पार करता है तो वो उसके लिए अवसर बन जाते हैं। और हमारे व्यापारियों में तो बहुत आक्रोश है, खास करके इसलिए आक्रोश है कि भारत को पॉइंट आउट किया जा रहा है। पूरे विश्व में सब लोग खरीद रहे हैं सामान, उनके ऊपर कुछ नहीं किया जा रहा है।
थोड़ा सा असर पड़ेगा, जो हमारा एक्सपोर्ट हो रहा था माल, जैसे कानपुर से हमारा लेदर जा रहा था, हमारी दक्षिण अगर साउथ की बात करें तो कुछ साड़ियाँ बहुत मात्रा में जाती हैं वहाँ पे, वो सब थोड़ा सा गिरावट होगा, लेकिन कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, हमारे पास बहुत अपॉर्चुनिटी है।
And yet, economists say that the big picture remains strong. The International Monetary Fund has upped India's growth projection. The biggest cost of Trump's tariffs is being paid at home. India's economy is projected to remain the fastest growing major economy in the world, with GDP growth rates well above global averages. In short, India's house is in order, and that gives it the room to resist Trump's tariff onslaught without blinking. The coming months will be significant for India's exporters as they adjust to the new US tariff regime. In the end, Trump's trade war may hurt India's exporters, but it is American households that will pay the real price.
Now viewers, we shift our focus to Jammu, that is being battered by the monsoon fury for the past 2 weeks. At least 30 people, more than 30 people have lost their lives now. Extensive destruction has been reported in Jammu after relentless rainfall triggered flash floods, landslides and cloudbursts. More than 30 people, more than 30 of Vaishno Devi pilgrims have lost their lives, and Republic continues to bring you reports from ground zero as the rescue operations continue. Take a look at this detailed report.
Rivers reach the danger level mark. Houses damaged and washed away. Vehicular movement disrupted. People stranded. Life comes to a standstill. Jammu and Kashmir's Jammu region is battered with floods and landslides, causing damage to properties and disruption to normal life. Efforts are being made to restore connectivity as soon as possible. In Jammu, 15 to 20 houses have completely washed away by floods. Republic continues to report from flood-affected Jammu, where locals shared their ordeal.
Right now we are in the Gadkhal area where the rescue and the relief operations are underway to get these BSF personnel that are still trapped in the area. There are 26 BSF personnel and 50 civilians for which this massive rescue and relief operation was launched by the district administration, J&K police, along with the teams of the NDRF and the SDRF in the area. The senior officials of the J&K police as well as the district administration are here at the spot. I am joined by the additional deputy commissioner of Jammu, ADM Sher Singh. Sir, किस तरह से रिलीफ रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन लगातार यहाँ पर चल रहा है सर?
बेसिकली इस लोकेशन पे अराउंड 75 से 80 लोग के आसपास ट्रैप हुए हैं, जिसमें सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस के लोग हैं, हमारे बीएसएफ के और सिविलियन हैं, जिनको रेस्क्यू कराने के लिए अभी 2 जगह पे ऑपरेशन चल रहा है। एक ये वाली लोकेशन है और एक इससे कोई 200 मीटर नीचे है, जहाँ बीएसएफ के लोग जो हैं वो ट्रैप हुए हैं, उनको निकाला जा रहा है। इसमें जम्मू कश्मीर पुलिस और सिविलियन जो यहाँ के कुछ लोग जो दरिया के आसपास रहते हैं और एनडीआरएफ की हेल्प ली जा रही है, जो लोगों को निकाला जा रहा है। अभी यहाँ 10 के आसपास लोगों को निकाला है, कुछ लोग और भी हैं।
In Jammu's Garkhal, a BSF camp was hit by flash floods in which 26 BSF personnel were trapped along with 50 civilians. In Katra's Vaishno Devi shrine, the disaster struck the route on the hilltop in Riyasi district, killing at least 30 people, while 20 people have been reported injured in the landslide.
Fury of nature has done a large-scale damage to the civilian areas in Jammu. Right now we are reporting from the Javed Nagar area of Jammu, where you will see that how the disruptions and the destruction and devastation that these flash floods and the rising level of river Tavi has brought, that this house, one of the houses, is now only left with a gate and a couple of inches of land, because there used to be a double-story house of some individual that was here, but now it has completely been washed away with the floods, and so is the situation. Around 20 houses, 15 to 20 houses have been damaged in the flash floods that have taken place.
Jammu is witnessing the worst deluge that has claimed the life of at least 65 pilgrims in Kishtwar since August 14. Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah also chaired a key meeting of top disaster management officials and Jammu Police IG and Divisional Commissioner. The rescue and relief operations are ongoing at a large scale with combined efforts of the NDRF, SDRF, Jammu and Kashmir Police and the Indian Army.
And now, on a shocking turn of events in Vadodara during the Ganpati festival, stones and eggs were pelted on the statue of Lord Ganesha by unruly miscreants in Gujarat's Vadodara. In fact, this has been seen as an attempt to disrupt communal harmony. In a swift action by the city police, they carried out a public parade of the 2 accused. After detaining them, they were in fact arrested for allegedly hurling eggs at Ganpati idol in the Panigate area. They in fact kneeled down and also asked for forgiveness. During the parade, viewers, the accused could be seen with folded hands, struggling to walk. They were brought to the incident spot for the reconstruction of the crime. Here's a report.
Extremely shameful, shocking and a sinful offence on Ganesh Chaturthi. Tensions erupted in Vadodara after eggs and stones were thrown at a Ganesh idol in an act of absolute offence. The police acted swiftly and arrested 3 accused within few hours after the incident was reported. The incident took place when Hindu youth were bringing the statue of Ganesha to their home in Vadodara, where the miscreants hurled eggs and stones at the statue of Ganpati in a Muslim majority area. This incident sparked outrage among the local residents and the Hindu organizations. The Hindu organizations demanded strict action against the accused, stating that unless an example is made, such misdeeds may continue in the future. Meanwhile, the police took a strict action against the accused in a recent development. The 2 accused who were arrested for allegedly hurling eggs at Ganpati idols were made to parade publicly today. During the parade, the two accused could be seen with folded hands, struggling to walk as they were brought to the incident site for reconstruction of the crime scene. Both the accused were also seen kneeling down and apologizing with folded hands for their misdeed.
A day after the Enforcement Directorate conducted searches at the premises of former Delhi Minister Saurabh Bhardwaj in connection with the alleged hospital construction scam, he has now hit back at the centre, claiming that Delhi's Lieutenant Governor, in fact, Vinay Kumar Saxena, has attempted to frame him through criminal conspiracy. Here's more.
It's a fresh political face-off between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP over ED action on Saurabh Bhardwaj.
अगर अब ईडी जो मंत्री नहीं था उन पर रेड करेगी तो क्या प्रधानमंत्री जी पर कोलगेट स्कैम में रेड होगा? उनके कार्यकाल से पहले के घोटाले में क्या प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी पर 2G घोटाले में रेड होगी? सौरभ भारद्वाज तो मंत्री ही नहीं थे जब ये फैसला अस्पताल निर्माण का हुआ है, तो ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ ध्यान भटकाने की साजिश है.
The central agency conducted raids on the Aam Aadmi Party leader in the hospital construction scam case. The primary allegation being large-scale embezzlement of public funds. Raids continued for over 12 hours at his residence. Addressing a press briefing today, the AAP leader claimed witch hunt by the BJP.
हेल्थ मिनिस्टर बनते ही ली और जिसमें मैंने अस्पतालों की देरी के लिए डॉक्टरों को कहा कि आप देरी, ये पीडब्ल्यूडी को और इनके जो ये हेल्थ के जो अफसर हैं उनको कहा कि ये देरी क्यों हो रही है, जिसमें मैंने कहा कि इन अस्पतालों को बना के क्या करोगे अगर इसके अंदर स्टाफ ही भर्ती नहीं होगा. तुम हर आदमी को चोर साबित करने में लगे हो. आप अपने देश की नींव को खराब कर रहे हो, आप अपनी जड़ें खराब कर रहे हो, क्योंकि आप किसी आदमी को ये क्रेडिट तक नहीं लेने दे रहे कि वो ईमानदार है. वो कोई क्यों ईमानदार रहेगा इस देश में? क्यों रहेगा? आप मुझे बताइए, आप इस देश को, ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी कैसे बर्बाद कर रही है?
As the Aam Aadmi Party cries vendetta and BJP cries loot, the investigation into the case has opened a new front.
In a strong message to the nation and the enemies, Home Minister Amit Shah today felicitated the brave soldiers of Operation Mahadev. Of course, it's an important gesture as well. Shah said that while Operation Sindoor gave the satisfaction, it was Operation Mahadev that transformed this satisfaction into confidence. Take a look at this report.
Union Home Minister Amit Shah today honoured the security personnel who led Operation Mahadev, a decisive counter-terror mission that restored faith in India's fight against cross-border terrorism. Shah said the twin missions, Operation Sindoor and Operation Mahadev, sent a clear message to terror masterminds. He declared that our soldiers have shown the world that no matter how many tactics terrorists adopt, they can no longer hurt India and escape. This confidence came after a dark chapter. On April 22nd, LET terrorists carried out massacre in Pahalgam's Baisaran Valley, killing 26 innocent tourists. Just weeks later, on May 7th, India struck back with Operation Sindoor. And soon after, Operation Mahadev neutralized 3 Pakistani Lashkar terrorists in Srinagar, the same men who plotted the April 22nd attack. Operation Mahadev began on May 22nd when the Intelligence Bureau cracked encrypted signals used by the terrorists. After 2 months of surveillance and coordination, their hideout near Srinagar was confirmed on July 22nd. In a fierce encounter, the 3 terrorists were eliminated. after a 2-month-long intelligence operation involving the Army, CRPF and Jammu and Kashmir Police. Among them was Suleiman Shah, the mastermind of the Pahalgam massacre. Weapons recovered, an M9 carbine and 2 AK-47s were the very guns used in the killings. During a discussion in Lok Sabha, Home Minister Amit Shah highlighted how evidence once again exposed Pakistan's hand. Voter IDs, foreign chocolates and weapons from across the border. He stated the NIA questioned over 1,055 people in 3,000 hours of interrogation, documenting the entire terror network.
माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, ऑपरेशन सिंदूर, ऑपरेशन महादेव, ये दोनों के लिए जिन सुरक्षा बलों ने भारत का सम्मान बढ़ाया है, वो सभी को मैं हृदय पूर्वक बहुत साधुवाद देना चाहता हूं। मैं सम्माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को भी बहुत अभिनंदन करना चाहता हूं कि इन्होंने देश की 140 करोड़ की जनता की जो इच्छा थी, उसका प्रतिघोष करते हुए सटीक जवाब देने की दृढ़ राजनीतिक इच्छा शक्ति बताई। इसके लिए मैं सम्माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को भी अभिनंदन करना चाहता हूं।
Today's felicitation was not just recognition, it was a message that India will bring justice to every terror victim. And Operation Mahadev, Shah said, was not merely an encounter, it was a declaration. A declaration that India will chase every terrorist, every handler and every master across the border and crush them with full force.
Now, a gruesome tragedy unfolded in the industrial area of outer North Delhi. A 16-year-old boy behind the wheel of a car brutally struck and dragged a man to death in a chilling hit-and-run accident once again coming in. It's a hit-and-run case. The young victim, a 32-year-old factory worker, was dragged for nearly 600 meters before the driver sped away, and he fled from the scene, leaving him to die. The horrific CCTV footage reveals the shocking details of this crime. Watch this report.
Another day, another horrific hit and run in the national capital. A brutal hit and drag incident in Delhi's Badli industry area has claimed the life of 32-year-old Sujit Mandal. And behind the wheel was a 16-year-old teenager who struck him, dragged him for 600 meters and then sped away, leaving him to die. An incident that has left the entire city reeling. The CCTV footage is nothing short of disturbing. It captures the precise moment of impact. Sujit Mandal is knocked down and pinned behind the vehicle as the car drags him mercilessly across the industrial road. After intense investigation, police traced down the vehicle to the Mandoli and detained the 16-year-old driver. A case of culpable homicide has been filed and the juvenile has been presented before the Juvenile Justice Board. The city is shaken, and so should be every parent and citizen. How many more lives need to be lost before real action is taken to stop underage drivers from getting behind the wheel?
That's all we could pack in this edition of 6 Stories at 6. Viewers, we'll be right back with more breaking news at 6:30.